Good morning, Kitchissippi. It is Sunday, September the 21st. This is a video version of the Kitchissippi Weekly Ward newsletter number 449. There is lots more information about all of the topics that we'll discuss in the weekly email newsletter, to which you can subscribe at kitchissippiward.ca. I'm going to be hosting pop-up office hours on September the 29th. Those will be at the bridgehead that is at the corner of Wellington and Fairmont from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. So on Monday, September the 29th from 11 till 2, pop by the bridgehead at the Fairmont location and chat with me one-on-one without appointment about whatever is on your mind. I hope I will see you there. Tomorrow night, September the 22nd, I'm hosting an open house to take a look at the plan of subdivision application that has been made by CLC for the Tunney's Pasture campus. The plan of subdivision would largely divide the campus into various new blocks that would eventually be developed and into a road network. Come on by the Hintonburg Community Center at 1064 Wellington Street West. The open house will be held as a drop-in, so come on in, talk to the staff who are at the boards, learn more about the proposal, followed by a Q&A or town hall style meeting at 7:30. So again, that open house to take a look at the Tunney's Pasture plan tomorrow night, September the 22nd at the Hintonburg Community Center from 6:30 until 8:30. Quick note, the 627 Kirkwood rezoning, I'm having to look for a new date. At some point next week, we will have a new date for an open house for that. The city has received an application to rezone the property at 627 Kirkwood, which is just north of Hampton Plaza. The development proposal for the site features a 6-story mixed-use building containing 76 residential units and 2 commercial units. The plans are on the DevApp site. I have a link in the newsletter, and at some point next week I'll be able to say when a rescheduled open house date for that one is. And then the Committee of Adjustment is meeting on October the 8th. There is a single application in our ward at 128 Bayswater. The owner is seeking permission to sever the lot into 2 to establish separate ownerships for each half of the existing semi-detached. A few things in the community this week. Albert Dumont, the Algonquin Anishinaabe elder, Albert Dumont will be at Island Park Drive, Kitchissippi United on September the 28th in advance of National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. All are welcome to attend, so that's September the 30th with a service at the church beginning at 10 a.m. at 630 Island Park Drive. The Westboro Community Association is hosting its annual general meeting on September the 24th. That will be at the Churchill Senior Center from 7 until 9 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Parkdale United is hosting its annual fall rummage sale on Saturday, September the 27th from 9 a.m. until noon. The entrance is just off of Gladstone at the corner of Parkdale and Gladstone. Please bring your own cloth or compostable shopping bags, and the event is cash only. The Flowers for Food Food Bank fundraiser, which is being organized by the Westboro Community Association and Westboro Region Food Bank, along with Samurai Ikebana Studio, have teamed up to offer an Ikebana Japanese floral art workshop on Saturday, September the 27th. That's going to be held from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Westboro Legion. There is a suggested participation fee of $20. The Hintonburg Community Association is hosting its annual general meeting on September the 5th. All Hintonburg residents are invited to attend the HCA annual general meeting, which will be held at the Hintonburg Community Center at 1064 Wellington Street West. There are a number of committee meetings that are coming up over the course of the next week or so. At City Hall, the Community Services Committee is going to be meeting on September the 23rd. They'll largely be considering the refinancing for Ottawa Community Housing's mortgages. Councillor Plant has also got a motion before that committee to require staff to report back on efforts to address encampments in the city, and she also has a motion to rename Emont Park as Mary Papacy Park. So a couple of items there on the City Services Committee. I have a link to the full agenda in the newsletter. City Council is going to meet on September the 24th. I think it's going to be a fairly quiet meeting, mostly confirming the committee recommendations that have bubbled up over the course of the last week or so. In our ward, that will include the decision to confirm our designation for Saint Francois d'Assise and the mosque on Northwestern with heritage protection. The headline item coming out of Council's meeting will be a motion that I'm bringing to require the city manager to rescind her order that 5 day a week in the office will be the new standard moving forward for city office workers. We've been working very well for those who can in a hybrid work environment where people have significant flexibility to work from home. I believe that we should maintain the status quo, accommodating work from home whenever that's possible according to operational needs. I have a motion to that effect and we will vote on it on Wednesday. The Public Works and Infrastructure Committee is going to meet on September the 25th. The big item on that agenda is considering the plan for transit priority on Saint Laurent Boulevard. That is the main agenda item. You can see the full agenda at the link that I've provided in the newsletter. The Planning and Housing Committee is going to meet on October the 1st. We're going to consider the mid-2024 Greenfield Residential Survey as well as the vacant industrial and business park inventory. The city is always required to be able to show the province that there is a certain amount of greenfield land available upon which to develop with the necessary approvals, as well as a certain amount of capacity in our industrial and business parks. The bottom line is that we do have the inventory that is required in both of those categories, but we'll consider a full report at that October 1st Planning and Housing Committee meeting. There's also a tweak to the on-site development review sign policy. So when a sign goes up indicating that there's a development review underway for a property, they're just tweaking some of the procedures on that. For example, the current specification is for wood signs. We now use plastic. And there are rezonings that are being sought at 1137 Ogilvie Road, along with 1299 Richmond Road. I've got a link to the full agenda and all of the associated documents in the newsletter. The big meeting is following the Planning and Housing Committee meeting. Planning and Housing will meet jointly with the Finance and Corporate Services Committee. We're considering a large package of recommendations that have been made by the task force that was convened by Mayor Sutcliffe to take a look at how the city can ease the way for more housing starts. The financial climate right now to get housing projects underway is extremely challenging. The task force has made a number of recommendations, some of which are things like process, some of which are things like changing the city's culture to try to get to yes, and then there are also financial incentives. I'm quite good, and I think council should pass all of those recommendations, with the most important exception being the proposal to give developers a 5-year holiday from community benefits charges. I don't have time in this video to try to run through the whole thing. I do have an in-depth blog post up at kitchissippiward.ca. I've provided a link to that in the newsletter. You can take a look at all of the recommendations on the agenda site, which is at to which I have provided a link in my newsletter. Kitchissippi, that's the newsletter for this week. I thank you very much for taking the time to watch and hope you have a great week.